All right, well, first off, welcome. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Nick Martinez. I'm really excited to see all of your faces today. Excited for you to be part of our Prove It community. I've been doing this now for the last 5 years. I used to be a full-time airline pilot and was introduced to this by a flight attendant, fell in love with the fact that you could drink ketones, have energy, feel amazing, and also was excited about the opportunity to be able to build a business alongside that. I'd been entrepreneurial since I was a kid mowing yards. And I'd always been looking for something that would be the right fit for me to build alongside a busy life of a full-time pilot. My wife was a full-time director of finance. We had a 2-year-old and a baby on the way. So today our goal is to really just give you an overview of how you as a new promoter can plug into our community so that you have all of the resources, all of the details and information that you need to be successful, and also take you through the process, the simple system that we have for you to plug into that will allow you to just share this simply without having to be an expert. I think what you'll realize as we get through this is your job isn't to know everything about ketones. It's not to basically go to school on how to fly an airplane. It's really just to know how to share this, to say, hey, I love flying Delta. They're amazing. They took me from here to Orlando and I had an amazing trip and it was a great experience. You got to check it out. You didn't have to learn how to fly to the airplane to do that. Just like you don't have to learn everything about ketones in order to share this with others. So our goal today is really to just equip you with the knowledge around that and also kind of show you some of the mechanics behind it so you can maximize free ketones, you can maximize rewards, and really have fun in the process. So it's so much fun to see all of these, all of your faces. So many new people coming into the community over the last, really the last 6 months, the last year has just been incredible. And 2021 is really set to be a year where the world starts to know about ketones and the world has an opportunity to get healthy with this product and with this conversation. So before we go any further, I do have a friend today that's going to help share some of this information. His name is Kerry. He's coming to us from Las Vegas today. And he is an amazing promoter, been with our community for quite some time now, and is just well-versed and well-knowledged in the way of building this business. So Kerry, what's happening? Would love for you to just come off mute, say hi, maybe share a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your story.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually not in Las Vegas today. I'm down in Phoenix, Arizona. I was up in the Boston area working with the team and the squad, and now I'm down here hanging out with a new team that's just popped. Because I get to go places, I get to live in community, and that's just a really powerful tool or a powerful experience that's come from sharing this conversation. But yes, I do live in Las Vegas, and I've been drinking ketones now for 3.5 years. I started in September of 2017 and very quickly said yes because I wanted to get them for free. And then we've accidentally built just a wonderful business. And then real tactically with tools like this and simple understandings of what's at our hands, of that we don't have to be the expert. A little bit about my journey. Yeah, I've been able to lose and keep off about 80 pounds just product wise. And 2021 has poised itself to just be so magical. Just like in any business, there's ebbs and flows of growth. And I know that where you are today, where I am today is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And it's just an honor to be able to share this information with you, to streamline your experience. Because like Nick was talking about, when Nick got that first pack of ketones or that first baggie of ketones or scoop or what have you, and same thing with me, like we didn't have what we have today. And so we've gone through the trenches, we've gone through the warfare, and we're just so just excited to share with you on how you get to do this, and you don't have to do any of that hard work. Like we wrote the book, we made the slides, here's the information, like now go change the world, go impact lives, and get rewarded for it. So let's party.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We've got some slides for you, for those of you who are visual learners, just to kind of follow along. And if you have a pen and paper, definitely get that out so you can start taking some notes. And we'll go from there. So let's see, I think y'all can see my screen. Let me just click view and throw this into slideshow mode. All right, here we go. Give me a nod if you can see my screen. If I'm shared. All right, perfect. Well, let's just get started with how you get plugged in. And Kerry, if you just want to run through this real fast, obviously all the information is on the screen, but tell us a little bit about what all of this means and how somebody can plug into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it doesn't matter if you're on Android or if you're an iPhone user. We accept all all types of people here, but these apps are going to be the crux of the communication and for you to track what you've got going on and be able to connect to resources. So first and foremost is the Prove It Pulse app. If you've been sharing this conversation, you know that that app is a lifeline. It's where you get to know the promotions and the sales and the deals and know what's happening from the company, from our leadership instantly and right away. So if you're here because of that pulse that came through to your phone, awesome. If you're here from a group chat, fantastic. If you don't have that, go grab it. It is phenomenal for communication purposes. Prove It TV, when somebody says, or when I meet, like I'm sitting here with my friend Stacy, if I just met her and I connected with her and got her phone number, I would say, oh my gosh, like, here, drink this pack, and then I'm going to text you a video. And I hop into that Prove It TV app and I go copy the campfire video link. Actually, I have it memorized. I know what it is now, and I have it copy and paste available. But until you get to that point, you can go grab those resources, because I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, you can drink ketones. Like, let me just send you this video. It's going to do all the explaining for me, and it knows better than I do. 3.5 years, I've sent out that video thousands and thousands of times. The recent addition to our suite is that Prove It Everyday app, and it's just to help you keep track of your commitment to yourself. So there's 7 daily habits that are in there. I got up this morning, I went for a walk. I've been up for 2.5 hours because my body's still on East Coast time. And I'm able to go in there and tick those little things. And like, I love the fireworks and the celebration that comes with that app. It's just really, really neat. As far as additional resources with our systems and with our Facebook groups, the Better Starts Here. That's where our recordings get posted. That's where we keep everything kind of cataloged, so that way you can go tap into. And when you add your new promoters in there, it's a really great place to like tag them in the resources that have been recorded. The VIP Prover community, this is fantastic. So whenever I meet somebody that's interested in sharing the conversation, I add them in there because they can see the celebration of what's happening within the community. So somebody hits MVP multiplier, somebody gets their Go challenge going, accomplishes something really magnificent. That's where we can go in there and celebrate them, because this business is about community. And they're interconnected. You don't get to really have one without the other, because it's a lot more fun when they're connected. And so being able to plug in your new people in there, when you have a new promoter, announcing them in there, or hopefully you've been announced in there. If not, text the person that enrolled you and said, hey, where's my celebration? And have them go in that Prove It community group and do that. And then the Prove It corporate groups are fantastic too, just for additional resources. I think that first one there is supposed to say drink ketones daily. And so, which is our product group that we have of just people. That's where our reboot coaches go live, and that's where there's so much heavy lifting done for you. And if you're building on social media, having your customers in some type of group like that is going to do the education for you and have those additional touches is pretty powerful. And then the Prove It promoter group, where our corporate team goes live. And I love how Sheila just said, like, use the tools, don't be a tool. It's true, because you can talk to 10, 15, 20 more people just by using the tools than if you were to sit down and educate for 6 to 10 hours, because that's exhausting.
So thank you, Carrie, for going through all of that. It's definitely a mouthful, but if you really look at it in this kind of flow, you have your apps. The first one is for communication. The second one is for education through the resources that we have. And the third one is for you to help create better habits for yourself around our product and around just physical well-being. Then we have our team Facebook groups. One is kind of for training and resources. One is for community, fun, encouragement. Then we have our corporate Facebook groups. And as Carrie mentioned, this should say Drink Ketones Daily, not Better Starts Here. One is for education on just our business model and all the promotions and stuff that are going on. The other one is to support you and your customers in their experience with our ketones. So those are the resources. If you plug into those, you're kind of plugged into the pulse of what's going on. The only other thing I would add is just follow Prove It on all the social medias that you're on. So if you're on Facebook, make sure you're following Prove It there. If you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, whatever it is, just make sure that you're connected with Prove It there. So the next step are your websites. And this is an important thing just to be aware of. When you log into your account on the homepage, you're going to see a box that says share, and it's going to default to this one here, challenge.com. And the thing in front of it is your referral code. And your referral code, either it was assigned to you or you may have customized it without even knowing it when you enrolled. If it's just a series of letters and numbers, you can follow the steps that actually probably are pulsed or emailed to you just by going to settings. And there's a little box that says referral code, and you can change it to whatever you want as long as it's available. And then that becomes your website. So by having your referral code in front, and not your referral code, like my code is Nick, so whatever your code becomes, in front of .shopketo.com or in front of .rebootnow.com or in front of .challenge.com or any of these, that links whoever goes there to you. So real briefly, I just want to give you a quick rundown of how I use these specific sites. And again, there's a lot of different resources. You've got to find out what works for you, but let's just keep it super simple in the beginning. Challenge.com is a great way for somebody to see the video or the campfire video that Carrie was just referring to. So when I'm talking to somebody that's brand new, I'm going to send them to challenge.com. They're going to see a video there, and then they're going to get an option. They're going to be able to go buy the challenge kit, which is kind of the best value getting started product that we have. It's a variety pack. It gives them 20 servings, caffeine free, 5 different flavors. Or they can buy a trial pack, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, from me. So that's a great way. Now, if let's say there's a special going on, maybe there's a new flavor that just came out, maybe the reboot's available, maybe whatever it is. Shop Keto is like an Amazon shopping cart, right? So it has everything that's out there. So if they want a specific flavor, they want to buy protein, if they want to take advantage of the deal of the day or whatever it is, I send them shopketo.com. So in your mind, just focus on challenge.com, shopketo.com. The other thing here, right now we have the reboot is available. It's not available all the time. It's available very beginning of the month and during the reboot. We do have a very specific reboot site. All of these are in your homepage. So you don't have to write them down right now and memorize them. But you can go to your homepage where it says share, click on the drop down, and you will see all of these already detailed for you. The last one on here, proveitnow.com/promoter. If you have somebody that's going to enroll as a promoter with us and buy one of the brand builder packs, or just come in with a few boxes, this is the link that I would send them. If you just add a /promoter, it will take them directly there. So those are your resources. That's like, people ask, well, what do I send somebody in order for them to get started? I'm like, well, send them your challenge.com link or send them your shopketo.com link. All right. Next is our kind of really just how do we share this? And this is important. So we're going to talk a little bit about how this works. We do have a more detailed training on it inside of our Better Starts Here community. Inside of that Facebook group, there's actually a, under the units, there's a specific video that goes through this like in detail. But we just want to give you a high level of how this works. So Carrie, maybe take us through real quick, just attract, connect, and enroll.
Yes, real quick. I picked up on that. The ACE system is so simple, and how you're attracting somebody to the conversation is by wearing swag. I'm not wearing swag right now, but like Nick's wearing his Prove It shirt. And I know there's a lot of people on here that are wearing it right now. Just there's so many simple things that you can do to attract, of a Facebook post or on your stories or whatever. Like how you attract to your business is where your people are. Right? Like I like attracting in real life, like hearing people talk and go, oh, hey, you know, you're talking about how you got to sleep tonight. Like maybe you should try this. Like, I don't know if it'll work for you or not, but there's a lot of people talking about how it's helping their sleep. Here, take this, drink it. What's your number? I'll text you a video. And then that connect part is like what Sheila said, like use the tools of the campfire video, of the right fuel source video. And there's so many tools that are available to you inside the Facebook groups, inside the apps. And then enrolling in an experience, real simple. Like Nick just talked about with that challenge link, it is a great value. It is a great value when somebody gets started with a challenge kit and a box of Mitoplex, or a challenge kit to reboot in a box of Mitoplex. And there's resources to do all of that connecting and educating to get down to the enrollment side. But that video of Jody leading, explaining how to do really ACE is phenomenal. I highly encourage you to hop in that Better Starts Here group and just go over to the guide and watch that. It's going to be a great foundation for you to build your business.
Awesome. So a couple just quick notes here. We call it ACE because it's a simple system. It's a 3-step system. Like Carrie just kind of talked through the attraction piece. I also want you to think of this as approach, because if you approach people and ask them a question we're going to talk about here in a second, it really makes it simple for you to start conversations. The connection piece, this is something that you have to get really good at, which is not being the expert. the last thing you need to do is give everybody a dissertation on how ketones work. If you can be excited and then share that excitement, and then they're like, well, how does it work? What is it? You immediately say, hey, if I sent you a quick video, will you watch it? And then you're going to send that challenge.com website. And that truly gets them to watch the video rather than listening to you. So you're using that third party, you're connecting them. The other key here is connect them with whoever you're working with, whoever you're enrolled with. Just say, hey, great question. I don't know the answer. Let me put you in a chat with my friend Carrie. He's going to help answer those questions. The faster that you can get them in a conversation with somebody else, the faster that they will start making a decision. And then the next step is enroll. Help them either get an experience of the product through our Drink Ketones Challenge or a 5 or 10 serving trial pack. You just want them to start drinking it so that they can experience it. And then the true enroll is plug them into what we're doing. Plug them into the calls that we have. Plug them into Prove It social media. That way they really get to be part of the community and beyond. So this is the system. Everything that you'll hear kind of going forward falls through one of these 3 steps. And that's the basics and the simplicity of it. Now, talking through the next step is really kind of our Go challenge. And this is more on the rewards side. So all of the activity is what will drive the rewards. And the reason that Prove It has rewards is to drive activity. So we put out these rewards in order to say, hey, let's start having conversations. So you got to go ace, you got to become an ace of the system. And then through that, you're going to start to unlock some different bonuses. So we have a video in Better Starts Here, which you're going to want to watch. It's the Go Challenge video. It's actually me explaining what the Go Challenge is and how it works. But know this, let's say you just enrolled yesterday. We have a Go Challenge. It's a 30-day challenge. It will start automatically when you enroll your first customer or promoter within 14 days. If you don't do that within the first 14 days, it will just start on day 14. You do not need to press the green button in the cloud. I know that gets a little bit confusing. It will start when you start, meaning when you enroll your first person. Then when it started, you have 14 days for GoPro, you have 30 days for MVP, and then 120 days for All-Star. GoPro, you need 1,000 in what we call points. 800 of that has to come direct from you. MVP, you need 2,000. And then Go All-Star is helping 5 people hit MVP. So what I mean by points is every product has a volume amount associated. We call it BV. It stands for bonus value. You don't have to get caught up in exactly how much, because every time that you enroll somebody in your cloud, in your rewards tab, you will actually see it track for you. So an example, a normal price box of Keto Nat is worth 80. The challenge, because it's at a discount, is worth 50. The reboot is worth 60. So usually it's between 50 and 80, somewhere in that range. So every box that is sold counts towards that 1,000 or towards that 2,000. And in that first 14 days, the goal is to hit 1,000. If you do, you get an extra $250. If you hit MVP, you get an extra $500. You're also getting some Prove It bucks and some other rewards. This is just gravy on top of your already website commissions, which is really powerful. So our goal is to help you hit MVP in your first 30 days so that you can get paid and kind of move to the next level and keep moving forward. And what's neat, we actually have something called MVP Multiplier. You can see it on the screen here, which you get to run for every month. So even if you hit MVP, guess what? The next month you're running for MVP Multiplier, which essentially is the same thing. If you don't hit MVP, guess what? Next month you're running for MVP Multiplier. Again, it's almost the same thing. And that's just kind of our rhythm. And how do we hit these? Well, we hit them by doing what we've been talking about, by following that ACE system. So this is kind of the backbone of what we do. And Carrie has become a master of the trial pack system. Talk to us a little bit about how you use trial packs, Carrie, and how all this works.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love the trial pack system, or what we call like the 5 or 10 day experience. And it's essentially this. It's like, if you got started on a pack, you have 100 servings or 200 servings of ketones coming to your house. Or if you already have your pack, you're already here. Like my new promoter, my friend that I'm down here visiting, she has, her pack is being delivered today, and it's already 75% marked and ready to go out the door, right? Because we know the power of ketones. How our friend Michael Rutherford talks about it. Like, if you just get ketones down people's throats, they're going to be able to experience it, right? And just like to feel what that being in ketosis feels like. And so, like, who do you know that would support you and grabbing a trial pack, or whether a 3, 5, or 10. And the prices over here, those are suggestions. And so you can price them however you want to add that additional value to your people and help them get started where they can get started. Like, get in where you fit in as long as they get started. But by connecting with a 5 or a 10-day experience, they get to try the flavors. They can find out what flavors they like. That's my favorite line. Like, yeah, you just want to grab a 10-day. Number one, so you can see how you feel on it. Number two, you can find out which flavors that you like. So that way we can place your order on day 6 or 7. So that way you never run out. And it's just an easy way to get your foot in the door of having people experience it. Right? It's all about the experience here. It's not about, there is a transaction. Yes. There is an exchange of money. Yes. However, when you're legitimately interested in helping people find their better, using these trial packs are a very, with low barrier entry to having those experiences written and getting product into people's hands, like right then and there. So you can do a drive-by, you can have people come to your house, do a meetup or ship them out. Like, I have a bunch to ship out that I've actually been able to connect with people over the last couple days while I've been traveling. And it's just a simple way to help people start their experiences. So yeah, pretty good stuff.
So think of these as just an opportunity to cast a larger net. I get asked, well, do they have to start with the trial pack, or can they go to my website? I like to give people options. If somebody's saying, okay, that's interesting, I just saw the campfire video, tell me more. I say, well, it helps you feel amazing. Do you want to know the different ways to get started? They say yes. Like, number one, you can start with the Drink Ketones Challenge. It's going to give you 20 servings, multiple flavors, best price point. Or if you'd rather just dip your toe in the water and start slow, you can either buy 5 or 10 from me. 5 for 40, 10 for 75. Which one would you rather? And they're going to choose. They're going to choose 1 or 2. They're not going to choose like, I don't want it or I do want it. They're usually going to choose, well, I think I'll start with 5. Or, I'd like a better deal. I'm going to start with that Drink Ketones Challenge. How do I get started with that? So now, because you're giving them an option of this or that, they're choosing one or the other, not yes or no. So this has been very, very powerful. And if you're just leading with the website of saying, hey, you got to go on my website and buy, you're missing all the people that are just a little bit skeptical or a little bit cautious. And if you just start with the 5 or 10 serving trial pack, you're also missing the people that are just ready to go and will try anything that you tell them to. So by giving them that option, you're casting a larger net. And what you're doing is building a sampling inventory and a sampling business. So if you charge for your trial packs, you're able to take that money and reinvest it into more product. Right? So as we have different flavors come out, if we have different things come out, next thing you know, instead of you always going into your pocket for them, you're using the money that you just got from selling your past trials, you're buying the new flavors and you're selling them again, and it creates this perpetual sampling engine. So you don't have to overcomplicate this. Literally, all you have to do is grab 5 packs from your cabinet, put them like this, and then give them to somebody. They're going to give you cash. They're going to give you a check. They're going to pay you Venmo. They can come clean your house. I don't care how they give you money. The goal is just to make an exchange, help them drink it, and then connect them to more tools and resources and people while they're having that experience. So that is our trial pack system, which works really, really well. So now we want to get just a little bit more into the mechanics of talking through this. Carrie, maybe you can take us through this slide and really just share more about how do we help people through this conversation? What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I first started, my friend Dawn asked me, she's like, well, who do you know? And so I made a list. Of people and was just like, hey, who do I know? That list included my friend Janice, my mom and dad, people that were in my social circle, people that knew me and that also knew me and trusted me. And then also the same way. So that way it wasn't just like cold messaging, right? Like, I'm not a big fan of cold messaging. It was like, these people were in my life and I was in theirs. And so I was like, hey, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? And then the answer would come back. In 2017, it was pretty much nothing. And now there's at least some semblance of, oh, I've heard of the keto diet, or I did it last year, or whatever. And it's just that reach out and saying, hey, this might be something, with an intention behind the action of this might be something that can help them, because we know it will from our own experiences. and following those steps of connecting them to that campfire video. It's honestly just simple. It's simple. And now to the point of where we've been sharing this for 3.5 years. Like, people know me as like the keto guy. Like, that's not my nickname. I'm not the keto dad, but like, you're that guy that's has ketones. And so it comes up in conversation now. And because I've done years of attraction, years of reach outs, now the conversations can convert, or conversations can switch to there with high intention, to like, well, all I know is like, watch this video. It explains it way better than I can. And yeah, and then moving them to that experience. So hopefully that kind of fits. I mean, this slide's simple. This slide's simple top to bottom. I love the information on it. And it is this simple of like, oh, you're not drinking ketones yet? Well, no, here, like, if I send you a video, would you watch it? Oh yeah, sure. Like, let's do it. Let me mute because there's a plane.
So the like the power of that is the simplicity. We tend to overcomplicate this. I liked what Carrie said there. Make a list. For me, it was my mom, my dad, my sister, my buddy Greg, my buddy Floyd, and my friend John, and my friend Liz. I called them and said, hey, are you drinking ketones yet? Write that down. Are you drinking ketones yet? Or you can say, hey, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Those are two simple questions that you can ask to start a conversation. Notice I didn't say, oh my gosh, I just found this stuff. It's called KetoNat. You drink it, it puts you in ketosis. You feel amazing. You got to have it. I just signed up for this business. You got to look at it. All I asked them was a simple question. Are you drinking ketones yet? They're going to say, no, what's that? Like, well, it's the stuff I just started drinking. I'm feeling amazing. I think you'll love it. If I sent you a quick video, would you watch it? Now notice this is the same thing that you'll do if somebody comments on a Facebook post that you make. You'll say, hey, I'll message you. You message them privately. Hey, are you drinking ketones yet? They say no. You say, oh my gosh, this stuff's been amazing. It's a game changer for me. If I sent you a quick video, would you check it out? I think you'll love it. And that's where you send the campfire video. Then your next goal is to connect them to the next thing. All right, so that's just the basics of the system, right? That's the simplicity of what we're doing. Now, one of the things that we'll get into, and this is actually, we have a really great training on this in the Facebook group, but we want to just share this from the beginning so that you can better share your story, is really, how do you tell your story? Because you're going to start telling your story when you're out, when you're meeting with friends, when you're at a ball game, when you're on social media, you're going to be telling your story. So Carrie, take us through real quick. What are the basics of sharing your better story?
The basics of sharing your better story. I mean, it's really, really basic. It's before ketones, since ketones, what I'm most excited about is. And so for me, it's like, before ketones, I laid in bed all day. I didn't have much motivation to do much. I had gotten back up to my highest weight in modern history. It's not my highest weight, but one of my higher weights, which was 322. And I didn't have much motivation. I wasn't excited for much. And then a friend of mine shared a pack of ketones with me. I finally said yes. And since then, in my first year, I was able to release 75 pounds. Since then, I've been able to keep 80 pounds off. I'm excited to wake up every morning. I sleep through the night. And even if I'm only sleeping 4 or 5 hours, it's the highest quality of sleep. And so that's the gist of it. And what I'm most excited about is to continue feeling this way. I'm excited to continue feeling the way that I'm feeling, and then share that. And we have what we call, like, the on our Blitz card, or we have a couple other things too, that have the list of benefits, right? Better mood, better sleep, better energy, better focus. And so my story is written around the things that we can talk about with ketones. And it's important to keep that in mind, because of like my appetite suppression. Like I intermittent fast like a boss nowadays, where before I was hungry all day long because I could break into the science. I just know that I drink ketones and I feel great. Right. And so I want other people to feel great. And so when writing your story, make sure it's your story and it's written how you talk. You're not that happy-go-lucky guy that lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, that wears glitter and unicorns and all this. Like, that's not you. That's me. And that's the coolest thing about this community. And your story is that it's wholly and unique to you. And you get to share your story with the people that you want to impact their lives and help get them connected on an experience pack or a challenge kit and. So it's just, it's your story is powerful because you're sharing it, and you're the only one that can have your story because you're the only you.
That's exactly it. I wrote down, keep it simple and be you. when you start telling your story, again, you can tell this in person, or you can also, and we encourage you to start telling this on social media. My encouragement to you is get back with who you're enrolled with, get back with your support team and say, hey, I'm getting ready to make my first Facebook post. Can you help me tweak it? Type out a little bit of your story and they will help go back and forth just to maximize the language on there for the most attraction. The goal is not to throw up on Facebook, it's to create curiosity. So if I ask you, what are your benefits? I want you to write those down. What have you noticed as a result of drinking ketones? Oh, I have more energy. I have more focus. I've lost a little bit of fat. Whatever it is. Now, if those benefits start to sound like medical terms, like, oh, my inflammation's gone. I no longer take my medication. I'm no longer depressed. We got to remove those words and we got to use the benefits of energy, focus, fat loss, sleep, mental clarity, better mood, better digestion, and clearer skin. Those are the benefits that we are legally allowed to promote ketones for, even though when you start to really learn what ketones do, they go well beyond that. We just can't share those on a public platform because that would be considered a medical claim and we are not doctors. So my question to you is, if you have more energy, what does that look like? Carrie described it. How do you describe it? What does that mean in your day? When you come home from work, what is different than when you used to come home from work? When you're hanging out with your kids, what is different from when you used to hang out with your kids? If you're eating food, what has changed? So like people say, I don't have cravings. Great. What do you no longer crave that you used to? I want you to paint a picture when you put this post up. I want you to when somebody reads it, for them to be leaning in like, oh gosh. And then there's no need for you to come out and say, like, list out the name of the company and the product. You're not trying to sell them to get them on your website in that moment. You're trying to get them to lean in and look, what is this stuff? So an example would be, oh my goodness, feeling amazing today. Just 7 weeks on this drink, or just 3 short days with this magical white powder. And today I came home from work, cleaned the house, cooked dinner, and played with my kids. This doesn't happen. Oh, and my clothes are actually a little bit looser today. Can't wait to see what happens in the next week. Have you tried this stuff? If you post that, guess what's going to happen? People are going to be like, huh? What is this stuff? I want to know about this stuff. They're going to comment. Then you're going to reply to the comment and say, oh my gosh, I'll message you. Oh my gosh, I'll message you. Taking it off of those comments. So when you get comments, take it privately. You don't need to put your link in there. You want to create a conversation and an engagement with that person individually rather than just putting it straight out there. So get back with your support team. Let's work on your first social media post. And it's a powerful, powerful way to start getting this business rolling. So the next step is really like, let's take action. And this slide just has a lot of ideas of how to take action. But what I want you to do is connect with whoever you got started with and say, hey, I'm ready to take action. What are some things that I can do? And the biggest thing here is just keeping it simple. So I want to dial this slide down a little bit and just say, number one, let's get a post up on Facebook and Instagram or whatever, wherever the heck you are when it comes to social media. Number two, let's figure out who we can invite to learn more specifically about this. Who can we approach and ask the question, hey, are you drinking ketones yet? And then the third is scheduling some sort of either Keto Life party that you have in person, because I know a lot of people are starting to get together again, if you're comfortable with that, or that you can do virtually on either Facebook or on Zoom, where you can invite a handful of friends to come learn more about ketones. Talk to your sponsor and your support team and say, hey, I want to, like, which one should we do? Find the best fit for you, whether it's in person, whether it's via Zoom or via Facebook virtual Keto Life party. And then just invite people to learn more and start getting going, because this will help you progress towards your goals. This will help you hit that go challenge and help you get things moving. So one thing to note is we have a couple specials going on this month. They've been pulsed, but I know if you're brand new, maybe you haven't seen the pulses. So Carrie, you want to run through exactly what this is real fast?
Yes, and I'm so excited for these specials that we have going on. First and foremost, when you have a cart of at least 2 boxes or more, because my mom was in direct sales in the 80s, and that company taught her never to say the word dollar amount. So I'm just classically trained that way. Of like, if you just throw in 2 boxes in your cart, you're going to and subscribe and save, you're going to save that 22%. So grab 2 boxes of Keto Nat. You're going to need the Mitoplex because hydration is very important. And if you haven't looked at those, go on your Prove It TV app because there's education videos that'll share with you to get you excited about sharing these different products in our support system that we have. But yes, the grabbing 2 or more, that 22% off is totally phenomenal. And then when they're in subscribe and save, for instance, let's say you're a new person, we'll go with Stacy here. Stacy grabs a challenge kit and she's totally enjoying, she loves the blueberry acai, not a big fan of True Passion, which nobody's ever said that because I think TP is actually your favorite. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh my God, they end up falling in love with that flavor. Well, that's only meant to last for 10 or maybe 20 days, depending on how they're drinking it. So they're going to want their favorite flavor. And so it's like, oh my gosh, because you're on the subscribe and save, then you're going to save that same, you're locked in at that savings every single time you order a box. So it's just a really cool tool to help you continue the conversation and helping people get started where they're at, but also expressing value. One of my favorite lines is like, when you start with this special, you'll never pay full price. And if you think about it, that's why we shop at Costco. That's why we shop at Sam's Club. That's why we pay monthly or annual fees to the things that we like, because of the little savings along the way, because those little savings add up. And then not to mention the bonus product 3 times a year, every 4th month, just for being on SmartShip. So the April specials are really poised to help you and your business and get people started and get them attached to a flavor that they really enjoy.
So I love that the SmartShip is absolutely everything. What we want to do is have a amazing group of raving fan customers that are ordering on a monthly basis. This helps them create a healthy lifestyle, and for you, it creates a very stable foundational business. So note the information at the bottom of this slide, perks of SmartShip. You can earn, if you have your SmartShip active, you can earn Prove It bucks by referring 2 customers that are also on SmartShip. Every 3rd month, on the 4th month, you actually get a box that ships for free. So you actually get 4 boxes a year for free if you're just consistently on a SmartShip. Same with your customers, and you get 22% off of your shipment, which is huge. So make sure that you have that set up, and then encourage your customers to get their SmartShip set up. The last thing, that there will be a Catalyst challenge for new promoters for this month. It hasn't been pulsed out yet, but stay tuned. If you're new from the month of March, you will have a Catalyst challenge to run for. They're going to be putting that out soon. This is a fun promotion, and this is just an example of promotions that Prove It does on a consistent basis to really help you grow your business. We're all about rewarding activity and just helping people take action by putting that little carrot out there saying, hey, let's call a few more people. Let's help a few more people with ketones. We also have an amazing community and tons of events. We have our virtual playbook, which you can grab the replay for right now. And it is available in your cloud. And if you grab that, you'll be able to watch the virtual event that just happened last weekend. Next weekend, we have an amazing event with Joseph McClendon III, which is going to be super powerful. So if you want to participate in that. Also not listed here, we have a mastermind coming up in person at a dude ranch in Arizona, not too far from where Carrie is right now. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So if you're ready to just like take your life to the next level, if you're ready to grow, if you're ready to really immerse yourself in our community, I'm inviting you personally to come. We still do have a little bit of space, and I would love to meet you in person and love to have you just come really have fun with us, and at the same time learn and grow and see what's possible with inside this amazing business model. So we have gone through a ton today. Just know that there's resources everywhere, and your goal is not to get overwhelmed by the fact that there's so much information. My goal for you is just to know that it's out there. And if you try to learn one thing every day, you're going to start growing. And a lot of it's in different places, and there's different things that you can use. But honestly, your job is just to know that you're going to have a new conversation every day with people about ketones. You're going to share your story, and then you're going to connect people to the tools and resources that we have. If you follow that ACE that we talked about, that's what you need to know right now. all of the other stuff that was just on that slide, all of the great resources that we have are so that you can always get a little bit better. You can always learn a little bit more. You can always grow a little bit. So Carrie, before we sign off, any last thoughts, any last words from you?
I mean, it's something that was spoken over me when I first joined this company was like, commit for a year, do the thing, like Nick just said, like you're going, like in this business, like you should want to share this with at least one person a day, at least one. And if you get crazy and talk to two, well, guess what? Now you've just like increased your efforts 100%. Right. And so that's a huge win to celebrate, but commit for a time frame longer than 30, 60, 90 days. Like this business works as long as you work. Nick wouldn't have been here for 6 years if it wasn't working. I wouldn't be here for now 3.5 coming on 4 years if it didn't work. And it's like, stay the course, do the simple actions, commit to that ACE, commit to like the systems that your team, your personal team, because like I love how I think about us. Like we're like one house with many rooms. We're all here for the same mission, and we all get to share this conversation. And then like the teams that we're on, we have like little nuances to kind of support ourselves and our direct people, but we all follow the same thing. It's all ACE. It's all connecting. It's all not being an expert, but give it time. Run the marathon that is building your business to your dreams, to your goals, and achieving the things that you want out of this life, because you're worth it. So that's what I got. Thank you so much for having me on, Nick.
Absolutely. I love that. Everybody's here in a different spot. Everybody starts and everybody is in a different place in life. So I want you to run your own race. I want you to run your own journey, but I do encourage you to take a long-term vision. Carrie said, be here in a year, be here in 2 years. If you want to take the path that I took, it's actually a really slow path. It took me about 7 years to figure this style of business out until it really like clicked and went nuts. My first 30 days, I talked to everybody I could in this kind of business, and I enrolled one person. It was my dad. My second 30 days, I enrolled a second person. It was my mother-in-law. And I could have been discouraged, right? But for some reason, I was listening to people saying, you can do this, Nick, you can figure it out. Like, let's help, let's go. And I just kept going. Well, here we are. It's been 11 years since then, and we've made millions of dollars in this industry. And it is as a result of learning and staying with it. So my encouragement to you is take the Nick Martinez path, even if you have to enroll your dad and then your mother-in-law and then another family member and then maybe a cat and a dog. You can do it, even if it takes some time to figure out. Now, that being said, we have amazing systems and opportunities for you to plug in. And if you follow what we're doing, it will work. I was just on a phone call with this lady named Linda Morris. She lives down in Alpine, Texas. She's doing awesome. She started with us back in the summer, and she was really skeptical, really nervous, and really shy. Maybe you can kind of relate to her situation. She's like, I'm not sure if I can do this. I said, Linda, if you just follow what we do. So she's hit what we call rank 4, has over 10,000 in volume each month. She's doing amazing. And she said to me, Nick, it's weird because I've just been doing what you said. I've been posting this on Facebook. I've been reaching out to friends. I've been inviting them to these calls. I've been having keto life parties. She's like, and it's working. I'm like, oh, that's funny. So if we do the action, right? If we do what we're talking about, take action, create a vision for the future of where we want to go with this, decide how many people that we want to help, guess what? It's going to come together in your time, not in somebody else's time, but in your time. So I appreciate all of you being here. I'm really excited to have you as part of our community. And really, I can't wait to see what happens here in 2021.